So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm Shireen, orphan from the Student Development and Support team. For those who don't know, I am standing in for the online teaching and learning unit, who was meant to host the session, and I know that's what the invitation said. So I just want to make sure that you don't confuse me with the OLTU. So if you just joined, we're going to kick the session off with questions that you might have so that we don't rush the questions at the end of the training. So I've just switched it up a bit. We will run through some training a little bit later, but if you have any questions, I'm going to ask that you either post it in the chat or feel free to switch your mic and camera on. Are there any questions at this stage? I'm sure that you must have had some experience with Urkund by now. I also see that we have a lecturer and a HOD in the session. If you maybe have any questions that you've received from students that you would like to post in the chat, please do so. Okay, so Rida's posted that some assignments do not state that it goes through Urkund when submitting, and this is confusing. This might be because the lecturer has not selected the option of using Urkund for that particular assignment. So yes, there wouldn't be a report generated as the setting wasn't selected for that particular assignment. Now, sometimes lecturers choose not to use that particular or not to use Urkund for a very particular reason, which depends on the assignment type. Sometimes, for example, a reflection assignment, they wouldn't necessarily feel the need to use the function. So that's a lecturer preference or discretion. It's also something that I will raise perhaps with faculty going forward in terms of standardizing whether all assessment should be going through Urkund or not. This, however, is a faculty decision, so I can't say much about that. All I know is that it is at the lecturer's discretion when setting up the assignment, which is why you won't receive a report for some of them. So I'm going to go on to Natalie's question. How do I say your name? I'm trying to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Nastia? I hope I'm pronouncing it okay. Nastia, awesome. So you say that you've been in touch with Urkund because you're unable to view your percentage similarity, and they informed you that students are unable to see their similarity percentage, even when uploaded through draft folder on Funda. That I'm not sure if that is 100% correct. When I go through an example of viewing the analysis and the similarity report, from a student view, you will notice that I am able to see the similarity percentage, even though I'm in a student view. It depends on which avenue you are using to collect your report. So maybe you can just let me know if you are going through Funda to check your similarity report, or if you're taking a different route. Francis is asking, why does it take so long for a report to be generated? Maybe you can give me an indication of how long it is taking for your report to be generated, so that I can maybe get an idea if it is the same amount of time it takes when we submit reports on our side, or we submit assignments on our side. Francis, maybe let me know how long your report usually takes to be generated.
No, it is the students. They ask, they say they have to wait a day or two, sometimes even 3 days for a report to be generated.
Okay, that's very interesting, because I've been submitting multiple assignments in preparation for this, and it seems like it takes something between 30 minutes to 45 minutes to generate the report. So if it's not generating the report within that period, I'm not sure if it could be on the student's network, or if it's something else. Are there any other questions that maybe students have directed to any of the staff in the meeting today? So on the website directly and via Funda, I've not received any reports, and there is no information on similarity percentage on the home page. That's very interesting. So let's see, once I go through the example, if you are not experiencing the same that you would see when I go through the submission of an assessment and accessing your report. Are there any other questions? Francis, was that the hand from earlier? That's still raised.
No, that's a mistake. It was a mistake, unfortunately.
It's fine. Okay, so Gareth is experiencing the same problem with not seeing the similarity percentage, and it's only showing that you've uploaded something. Okay, so we're going to address that when we go through the example. So I'm going to give another 2 to 3 minutes for any questions that you may have come prepared with before heading into an actual submission. Any experience that you may have had with Urkund as you've been submitting assignments? Okay, if there isn't anything specific, then we're going to head straight into an example. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm sure that everybody is familiar with how to submit an assessment. So I'm not going to go through that at the moment, but I am going to go straight to a submitted assessment and what you should see once the assessment is submitted. So as you can see, it says that there is an Urkund report for this assignment, and there would be a flag. Now, depending on the similarity percentage, that flag would either be yellow, it would be green, it would be orange, or it would be red. And so that's indicating the percentage of similarity, and green usually indicates, I think, less than 20% similarity, which makes you on the safer side, and red has the higher percentage of similarity, and that is anything, I think, over 60 or 70% of similarity. Now, this is what you should see on your Funda account once you have submitted an assessment. And it gives you this option here to exempt from Urkund. So before I go into the report, I just want to check if everyone who has submitted an assignment and gone back into that particular assignment has seen this flag or a flag indicating that there is an Urkund report. Do you maybe just want to give me an indication in the chat? Okay, great. Sorry, unable to see. Chanel, you're able to see my screen now? Sorry, I can't see the chat while I'm in screen share mode, so I have to switch between the two. Is everyone able to see the screen before I continue? Okay, so you've seen the flag, and Rida is asking, what does exempt from Urkund mean? So this is a very important question, because what Urkund does is it pulls your assignment into its database. And that means if there is a similarity between your assignment and another student's assignment, they would be able to see your entire document. But the moment you exempt it from Urkund, they wouldn't be able to have access to your assignment. It will still find the similarity, if there is similarity, but you won't be able to, or the student won't be able to see exactly what the similarity is from your document. And so that's what it means to exempt it from Urkund, so it doesn't pull the assignment in for other users to access the document. And so this is the next question that I was anticipating, which is, do you not click on exempt? For now, I would advise that you don't click on exempt unless advised otherwise, either by your lecturer or a particular instruction that goes out to all students at some point in the future. So that's the exempt from Urkund, and that's what you should see in Funda. Now, once you've submitted the assignment, you would have received an email from Urkund, you would have received an email from Funda. So Funda firstly sends you an email confirming your submission, and then Urkund sends you an email confirming that it has gone through the system. And then in the email sent by Urkund, you would have received a link saying something to the effect that you need to follow the link to add your name and email address. Please do not use that link. To access your report, only go via Funda at this stage. So you're now in Funda, you see your flag, and that's what you're going to click on to access the report. Can everyone see the report? Okay, so I'm in a student account. I have not used a staff or instructor account. This is a student account, and this report is is generated from the assessment or the document I submitted under the assignment. Okay, so this is the analysis overview, giving you basically a rough picture or quick picture of where similarity is located on the document. So somewhere at the top of the first page, on the second page, there's some similarity as well. And on the third page, it's showing the whole document as some similarity, or all of that document or that page found as similarity. When you click on the highlighted parts, it will give you a quick view of the similarity and what the specific sections are that they are finding as similar, and also the document it is related to. Now you will notice with this, it is on the cover page, and this is what's causing a lot of problems for a lot of students as well, is because most, if not all of your cover pages look very much the same or similar, and therefore it is going to find similarity on the cover page most or all of the time. And will tell you how many different sources are similar. Usually what Urkund does, it actually presents the most similar as the first document, which you see here. And then it will tell you there are 3 alternative sources, which you can also click on to see which sources it is finding as additional sources that matches your particular assignment or that section of your assignment. Okay, so when you click on these highlighted sections at the top, it's just a quick overview of the sections that are similar. Again, here you can see that this entire paragraph is being found as similar to a student assignment or document. And it's telling me that this document is from Cornerstone Institute. It's giving me the name of the document that it relates to as well. When I click on page 3, it is the entire plagiarism declaration, because all students should, or I don't know if they do, but most students do attach the plagiarism declaration at the end of the assignments. And so what Urkund has done is it is now picked up that this particular page is similar to other pages or another document in the system. I just want to check if there's anything. Okay. Is Shanae the only one who's not able to see my screen? Can I just check, is anyone else experiencing that? Can everyone else see my screen? Okay, great. Thanks, Kendall. Okay, awesome. So, yes, so a lot of students have been emailing, querying the fact that the cover page and declaration is popping up as a similarity flag, and this usually pushes up the percentage of similarity. And so the question in the chat is, does the lecturer take this into account? Now, it's very difficult for me at the moment to confirm what the lecturer does. I know that lecturers are also going to be having a training session, and I will be feeding into that training session what we find in this one. So for example, the percentage of similarity that relates to a cover page or a plagiarism declaration shouldn't be taken into account, but the lecturer would only know that if they have checked each assignment individually, to determine what is actually being detected as similar. So, so I'll definitely feed into the next session with lecturers as well in terms of what's happening on the student side, and why it's important that each report actually gets checked before accepting that it is just 42% similarity, for example, when you check the flag in Funda. So that's the quick view. You can also go into the findings, which is right below that. And I know some of you said that you're not able to see the similarity percentage. This is also where it shows you on the right-hand side, if you can see my screen, there it is showing you that this document has a 42% similarity index. When you click on the findings, it will give you more detailed information about your specific similarity. So now what you will see is your submission on the left and the matching text on the right. So you can see exactly how similar they are with a side-by-side view. Okay, and it's telling you that at the top there that it has a 92% similarity, your document and this document, in relation to this particular page, which is the first page, and that's the cover page. So you can see obviously that the only difference there is the name, and that's because it's a cover page, and then also with the table of contents there are some similarities, but there are also some differences. Okay, so that's with your first page. It's the first similarity that has been indicated, and again it's showing you at the bottom where the source is and what the source is. Now if I click on this, which I'm going to do now, it's going to take me to, okay, it's going to download the particular assignment that is similar. And this is why there's that option to exempt your assignment. Because now that I've seen, okay, my similarity is with this particular assignment, I can then download the assignment and check that student's assignment, which means if you have not exempted your assignment from Urkund, someone else would also be able to check if Urkund has identified the similarity with your assignment and another student's assignment. Okay, so we are still in findings, and I'm going to go to the next highlight, which is the next page, where similarity was found. And again, you can see the side-by-side view of how similar the text is to the text. This is 100% match, which means it's 100% copy and paste from another student's assignment. Okay, and for the purpose of this exercise, we obviously wanted to make sure that we are able to demonstrate. So here's 100% match, and you can see word for word, there are no changes, and Urkund is giving you the exact text that is similar to the original source. And again, it will tell me where this information is coming from. Okay, and then the next highlight would then just be the plagiarism declaration, which again would be almost 100% similar to your document because we use the same plagiarism declaration. It does not constitute as plagiarism because it is not part of your assignment text. However, the system is comparing documents and detecting similarity and doesn't necessarily indicate plagiarism. And so it's important that you understand it's a similarity index, not a plagiarism index. And you would have to check your report to identify whether it is actually plagiarism. Like the second page would definitely constitute as plagiarism, whereas the similarity. So now what you can do is you can exclude this from the similarity so that it doesn't show up in the similarity percentage. Immediately it went to 23% when I ticked this box where it says include in analysis. It changed my similarity percentage. So a lecturer can also do that when they check your analysis, is to include or exclude certain parts of information in the analysis. So I just want to go back to the chat to see if there is any questions. Okay, so Rida said, asks if it's fine if the honor pledge is similar. Yes, unfortunately, at the moment, we haven't figured out a way around this. But the cover page and the plagiarism declaration does not constitute as plagiarism. Okay. So Rida, you ask again, so you click on the flag to see the report. Yes. In Funda, you need to click on the flag in order to see the report that we are currently viewing and talking through. Okay. So then you also have the option to check all the sources that your assignment has been identified as similar to. Okay, so you will find the whole list when you click on sources, and there you'll just see the list and what percentage relates to your similarity of each of the documents. Then you have the option of viewing your entire document. And there you will see that it will highlight the sections that are similar. And this is for the full view of the document. If the assignment or if a section is highlighted in orange, or the text is highlighted in purple, that is usually the warning signs or the similarity that's been detected. Okay, and again, if you want to check the details of this highlighted section, you will click on the box on your right-hand side to see the matching text. And again, it will give you the side-by-side view of your assignment and the matching text assignment. Okay. So basically, that is your Urkund report. That's the analysis. You have a quick view. You have a more detailed view when you go to the findings, and then you also have the option to view the document in its entirety. There are also options to include or exclude quotes. I advise that you don't necessarily fiddle with any of the settings. Your lecturer will decide as well when they view the analysis what should and should not be included in the analysis. For example, the plagiarism declaration, which they can exclude when they view the analysis. And that will then determine the final similarity percentage. If I want to exclude the first page, the cover page, again, my similarity percentage has now gone down to 16%, and that is the actual percentage of similarity of this particular document, which is the copy and pasted paragraph that would constitute as plagiarism. Are there any questions at this stage about the analysis and the report? Okay, so Phyllis is asking, if she exempts from Urkund, then her assignment will not be viewed by a classmate with the same similarity. Yes, that is right, Phyllis. So it will still detect that there is a similarity between your assignment and another classmate's assignment, but they won't be able to download or view the assignment, your particular assignment. Are there any other questions? We have about 12 minutes left of the session. So Rida is asking, so would exempting not be good then? It would be good. My only concern at the moment is that this matter has not been discussed with faculty. So I'm planning to take it to faculty this week. As I was preparing for the session, it came to my attention that there is the option for students to exempt or not, which is why I wasn't able to clarify from faculty yet whether students should or should not be exempting. At the moment, the discretion seems to be on the student side, but it is a matter that has to be clarified with faculty. It is a good thing to exempt, but at the moment, I can't give a fixed answer on whether you should or not. Is it possible to draft an assessment after submitting? So, so let me just answer Awilo's question. If a lecturer has not provided a draft option, then you won't be able to submit a draft after submitting. So if a lecturer also only allows one submission on a particular assignment, then you are not able to resubmit that assignment unless the lecturer opens it up again. So draft options and resubmission options must be discussed with your lecturer. So Rida is asking if an email can be sent to state whether or not should exempt when a decision is made. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. So since this decision is not made at present, I am going to advise that you continue to submit your assessments as you have been doing and not change anything or change the way you've been doing it until we do send out that email that Rida is requesting. Phyllis is asking, why did the school choose to use Urkund but not turn it in? Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that. It must be some technical or business decision. I'm not too sure about that. Okay, so Jason's also just emphasizing the fact that the exempt status gives students access to other students' assignments before the lecturer has marked the paper, and this is a serious concern. And so again, I will raise this with faculty this week and hopefully have more clarity on that. Is there any other questions or comments that you might have?
I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
It's from an experience. I know Peter's been having fun this week because we submitted assignment yesterday, or it was due, or no, we received the results back yesterday. And so a lot of the students, there were a couple of them that had like 93% plagiarism on their assignments. And obviously looking into it now, like I received my results back and the lecturer had stated I had 19% plagiarism on my report. And so I've gone now through this and I've checked and I only had 5%. So I do feel it is something that really does need to be addressed. I mean, not to defend the people that had 93%, because obviously you have a hell of a lot of copy text. But I think it is something that does need to be displayed, you know, because like I had 19% and when I check now, I only had 5. So I think it is something that does just need to show, because, you know, as I said, we had a whole WhatsApp group in absolute despair yesterday because some of them got 0 for an assignment, and maybe it's not the case. Maybe it's because of references and the title page and all of that. That's why their assignment was not within means.
Yeah, so we will make this recording available to all students after the session, and we hope that students will actually view the recording so that they are familiar with how the report and the analysis actually works. And then obviously we also hope to ensure that our lecturers are on board with what happens with a report and excluding different parts of the analysis that's not relevant. So so yes, please do let your classmates know that this information is available in this recording, and that they can familiarize themselves with how to read a report or an analysis. Any other comments, questions? Okay, so Peter's just posted in the chat to PGCE students to note that there is a draft Urkund option. And this is open for students to use for checking any modules. And often you may get a lower score when using another draft in Urkund. Okay. We have another 5 minutes. I said that the session would be 45 minutes at most. So please do post any questions you may have or unmute yourself. Thanks, Rida, for joining. I'm glad that you found this helpful. Please do notify any of your classmates that the recording will be out, and encourage them to view the recording so that it may help them as well. Thank you everyone for joining. If there's no other questions, you are free to leave the session. Thanks, Francis, for joining. Thanks, Kendall. Thank you, guys. You are free to leave the session. Thanks, Nadine, for notifying that you've received your report under 20 minutes. It seems to vary, and that I would have to take up with IT, who also is in the session, for us to look into why some reports only generate after 3 days or 2 days. But thanks, Nadine, for letting us know that your report just came back in under 20 or in about 20 minutes. If there's no other questions, thanks, Karen, for letting me know that you will advise students. Our biggest challenge is to get students to view these recordings and make the most of the information that's available to them. So Karen, you're saying that yesterday yours took 2 hours, but most of them has been within an hour. And so my experience has also been that it's mostly within an hour. But there seems to be some people who only receive the report after a day or 2 days. So that definitely has to be looked into, because that is way too long. But I will ask our online teaching and learning team to take a look, and IT to look into that as well. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll probably send this recording out in the next day or two. Karen saying could be if there are a lot at one being submitted could slow down the system. That's true. Richmond, do you agree that if submissions are all happening perhaps at the same time?